Hello everyone, welcome to another video of the Fellfire Gaze channel. Dragonflight Season 3 is upon us and soon we will be storming through that portal to enter the Emerald Dream. Havoc is looking super powerful and super fun. I made this quick video to share with you my strategy for playing and gearing as effectively and efficiently in the first weeks of the patch. So without further ado, let's get to it. Now there are two main things that you can do in the first week of the season where there is no raids or mythic plus or anything yet that can really help you later on. The first thing is primarily for PvEers, where you can grind rep with the new Dream Wardens, Dream Protectors, how they're called, so that you can reach Renown 18 as fast as possible in order to get the Infinite Augment rune. This costs 100,000 gold, so that's a lot of gold. I'm gonna take it because I wanna push and plus later on in the season and I wanna use it. But if this is something that you don't really care about, then forget about that reputation. Like, you don't need them for any power gains. But if you decide to grind reputation with the Dream Wardens, you need to take the following into consideration. You wanna start by grinding the reputation on one of your alts first, doing the quest on one of your alts. Why is that? Because as with all Dragonflight reputations, when you reach Renown 10, you get this perk here, which increases the reputation with other characters up to Renown 10 by 100%. So the way to push this reputation fast is to start it on one character, go up to Renown 10, and then swapping to another one, and repeating everything from the beginning, because all the first 10 Renowns will be boosted by 100%. So that's incredible, and you push reputation really fast. Other than that, you are gonna be utilizing the Dark Fair buff for as long as it's up, so it's the first 4 days of the patch, and then later on there is the WoW's 19th anniversary. So you can use these two reputation buffs to your advantage. Maybe you wanna hold some reputation tokens and use them with the buffs activated, especially this one is gonna be 19% extra reputation, so this is very powerful. And yeah, you don't wanna necessarily rush this. It's possible to get it really fast, like week 2 or something, if you do all the rares and all the world quests and everything. I'm not gonna do that. I will try to get it by like week 3 slowly by doing primarily the weekly stuff and the campaign chapters, but I will definitely be grinding the rep on my alt first, because in the first week we don't have anything to do, and this will give me an edge later on. That's the one thing. The second thing is, as I will explain later on, you need to farm 15k honor. Like, having a lot of honor to buy the honor gear is extremely beneficial for most if not all players at the beginning of the season, as I will explain right away. The reason that you want to be farming some honor gear is this guy right here. If you remember, from the start of season 2, we were able to obtain one draconic mark of mastery to gain one free tier piece at the beginning of the season. So I say that the easiest way and the fastest way to obtain this free tier piece is through solo shuffle, if you are at least involved a little bit into PvP. So what I would suggest is to stockpile 15,000 honor from the pre-season, from this week let's say, and then you will use this honor to buy all the honor gear. It is 26 item level higher than the current PvP gear, so it doesn't matter if you have like no PvP gear at all at the moment, because it will be completely invalidated once the patch hits. So you buy a full honor gear, you enchant it, and you go into solo shuffle, and then you push to 1600. I mean, maybe that's hard for some people, but for a lot of people this will be completely viable and not something too hard to achieve day one, and this will give them a super quick access into a free tier piece. This will be the first thing that I will be doing when I log in to the patch day. I will buy all the honor gear, enchant it, head into solo shuffle, and push to 1600. Now, depending on your skill, I would suggest that you push a little bit more up to the threshold that is easy for you. Like, if you can get to 1800, 2000, whatever, what's your skill level, and you can get easily there and you don't have to push for too long, then just go for it, because you can buy a PvP weapon and upgrade it and be a significant eye level boost for the beginning of the season. So yeah, I would definitely go and do those two things. Get the free token, get the PvP weapon and upgrade it to the item level relevant to your skill level, and then move on with the rest of the tasks for the beginning of the season. At this stage, if you like the video, consider dropping a like and perhaps even subscribing to the channel of Hellfire Gaze for more Demon Hunter content. Now the next important thing we're going to talk about is what to craft and what embellishments you're going to use. So for PvE there are 3 potential embellishments that can be used. The one is the Spore Cloak, which is changed and it now gives a smaller shield but provides passive versatility, so it gives a lot of damage like most embellishments. Then you have the Toxic Thorn Foot Wraps, which still do really good damage, especially in raid. And then you have the Blue Silken Lining, which gives the extra mastery and is the best enchant for Mythic Plus. So depending on what you want to do, you will decide what to craft, but I would suggest that you craft Spore Cloak in any case. I will be crafting Spore Cloak week 1, and of course you want to craft it with the Mythic Crest if possible. This means that you will need to complete 5 dungeons at difficulty of 18 plus, which is might be hard for some people, might be easy for others, but it is what it is. Otherwise you might craft it at a lower item level, but I think Spore Cloak will be extremely good because it will give almost the same damage, like maybe 1% less damage than the rest of the embellishments, or maybe less, and it will give you this shield, especially at the beginning of the season where you don't know the mechanics, you don't know the fights, you will fail, and this will help as a cheat death to protect you from dying all the time. So I will be crafting this week 1, and then depending on what you want to do, if you want to just PvP, I would craft the boots, the Infurious Foot Wraps. If you want to just raid, maybe craft the Toxic Thorn Foot Wraps here. And if you want a Mythic Plus, which I will be focusing on, you craft the Blue Silken Lining. I will be probably crafting this on a ring with Crit Mastery to get a free socket as well, but I'm not 100% sure. Maybe a weapon, it will be either a ring or a weapon, but I'm not sure. So this will be really good for the raid as well, and it will not really hold you back or anything. Like we're going with Spore Cloak and week 2 with Blue Silken Lining. I think you will be completely fine with Crit Mastery for both Mythic Plus and raids. Moreover, regarding what gear you want to pick up, now for PvE you will want to pick up Crit Mastery gear in almost every slot for both raid and Mythic Plus. Now there will be some slots like the tier set slots that will be covered and have a lot of haste, so you're not gonna need any more of it. So just go for Crit Mastery on everything. Of course at the beginning of the season item level is king, so you do want to prioritize item level. Just get as high item level as possible, like do a lot of Mythic Plus and get a lot of item level. Doesn't matter the secondary stats, you will worry about that later. And for the tier set you have the, now what was it, the head from the tier set is haste versatility, so you will want to avoid that and maybe craft it at some point with Crit Mastery or loot it from somewhere. And then for PvP it's the quite opposite actually. You want to play Verse Mastery in almost every piece, and if there is no Verse Mastery for one piece you just pick Haste Versa instead. And the chest tier set has Crit Haste, so you want to remove that and craft a Verse Mastery PvP item instead. The next part is about the talent builds that you will be using in both PvP and PvE. For now, this is the build that I will be opening the season with for PvP. So you pick up Elysian Decree, Hunt, Essence Break, Fell Barrage, all these bursty talents to burst people in solo shuffle. And these builds might be subject to change as the season moves on, but this is the pretty good build I think to start for PvP. And then for PvE, there is, I already said you play Verse Mastery with this build, full Verse Mastery. And now with the second one here, this is the PvE build, you play Crit Mastery, and this is for Mythic Plus. So it has like some stuns and CC here and there. You do really good damage with this build on single target, on cleave, on AoE, on everything. Like this is an extremely powerful DPS profile. And then for raid, you might be changing one point here. Maybe you swap Rage Fire for Furious Gaze. That's the only difference. So you pick Furious Gaze in pure single target. If there are some adds and there is cleave, then Rage Fire is better. But for both builds, you just play Crit Mastery and you are good. Now, it's true that this build is not optimal for the very first week, for the very first weeks of the patch where you don't have your tier set yet, and you could play something slightly different to do more damage, but I will not be doing that. I want to get used to this build and how it plays out, so maybe I will be doing a little bit less damage, especially in raid, for the first week. But honestly, I don't care. Like, I want to get used to it and build muscle memory and start optimizing for the rest of the season. So this is the build that I would be suggesting you to play with at the beginning of the season for Mythic Plus, and maybe in some single target encounters you swap to Furious Gaze in the raid. The last thing that I would like to touch on is the PvP gearing process and the tier acquisition process. So remember, as we had this in last season, at the beginning we will have a seasonal quest that will very easily award us with a Trophy of Conquest and a Greater Trophy of Conquest. We will use these items to craft PvP items, and this will not cost us anything. So we need to take that into consideration when gearing for PvP. Now, what I will be doing is listed in this table here, where at the week 1 we have 1000 and 3500 conquest points, and then 550 every week after. So I will be spending 900 to buy my weapon in week 1, and then I will be crafting the Spore Cloak using my PvE crests. So I will not be spending conquest points to upgrade Spore Cloak to max PvP item level. The max PvE item level will suffice, which will be only 3 item levels lower than the max PvP item level. Then I will proceed with spending my conquest points over the next weeks on gloves or shoulders, depending also on what I loot from the vault, and catalyzing them in order to transform them into tier set. And also, if you are full on PvP, you can craft the PvP boots by week 2. You have the crest for free, so it will cost you nothing. You have free easy max level boots. I will not be crafting this because I will be crafting for PvE, so I will be crafting a ring with an embellishment, or maybe a weapon with an embellishment, not 100% sure yet. And moving on, you can, while you're stacking your conquest points, you can get your guaranteed 4-piece by week 5, because you will be buying 2 pieces of 700 conquest each, one expensive piece, either the head or the legs, and you will get the other expensive piece using your seasonal token for a free tier set. So this way you can get a weapon and guarantee 4 set by week 5. You can also craft the Spore Cloak week 1 and then craft the boots. So I think this is a very efficient path for someone who just PvPs. I will alter it a little bit because I will be optimizing for PvE, but this is definitely something to consider. Now, if you don't want to touch PvE at all, you are full hardcore, you only want a PvP and you don't care about anything else, so this is a different path specifically for you. You want to craft the Spore Cloak at the very beginning, but it will cost you 525 conquest points because you will need to buy a lesser Trophy of Conquest in order to have Spore Cloak crafted at the max PvP item level. Now after that you will also buy either gloves or shoulders, and you will catalyze them and combine them with an expensive piece from the free tier set token, and this will cost you a lot of conquest. Now you will not be able to buy anything on week 2, and then on week 3 and 5 actually you will be able to buy the other 2 pieces and have guaranteed 4 set by week 5. Now if you get lucky during week 2 or 3 with your vault and you get another tier piece, maybe you can have 4 set by week 3, which is also very good. And if you want to be a little bit more conservative, you can wait a little bit with catalyzing your items on week 1. This will set you behind a little bit, but it might be worth long term. And as you can see here, by following this route at the end, you also have 750 conquest points left. so you might want to buy a trinket or something else as well. And again, you will be crafting the spore cloak, then you will be crafting the boots with the free crest that you get, and then craft the chest with the free crest. So this is the conquest gearing process to get actually almost full gear by week 5. If you follow this route with 0 PvE, then you need to buy the weapon from the outdoor content, because you will have lower item level weapons. Weapons are important and you will not be able to get them through this route. This will wrap up our little video. Thanks a lot for watching to the end. Dragonflight Season 3 will be really good for Havoc. All our pain points have been addressed. We're looking strong in both PvE and PvP. Let's take the battle to Firak. Consider dropping a like if you like the video, and perhaps subscribing to the channel for more Demon Hunter content and the videos that are coming with the new season. Thanks a lot, and see you all in the next one.